What's going on, guys? Welcome to the referee report for week 10 in the NFL. I got some good feedback from you guys last week for the week 9 referee report. It seems like you guys enjoyed that video, so we'll make this a thing for the rest of the season, and we'll do this every week from now on. I gave you guys 5 referee trends last week, ended up going 3-2. If you're newer to sports betting, 3-2 doesn't sound amazing on the surface, but that's 60%. If you can hit 3-2, if you can go 60% on most days, you can make a living in this business. So 3-2 is a solid start for the referee trends. This week I've got 3 more for you guys. So just 3. There's not as many strong spots because I don't want to give you like fluffy trends. I like to refer to them as fluff. Fluffy trends are like, trends that really don't have a lot of correlation or real meaning. Like if I say, like for example, in college football, there's a lot of fluff trends. Like if I say, Tulane as a home underdog over the last 15 years, well, 15 years, the quarterback changes every few years. The coach changes a lot. Like it doesn't correlate to the program, right? So it's like, I try to avoid those fluff trends and just really find ones that are actually relevant. So this week we've got 3 NFL games, and I think they're pretty good. These are some interesting ones. So we'll go through them in a bit. All right, before I start, if this is your first time seeing this channel, my name is Jeff, Lock and Cash. All of my free plays go on the Action app. If you go down to the link in the description, you can follow me on the Action app, download it. It's a great tool to have for sports bettors if you just bet casually, recreationally, or if you actually want to bet sharp and get better at it. Lots of great stuff on there, and I put all of my free plays on there before they go anywhere else to go on the Action app. So check that out down in the description. There's also deals down there if you want to join us for the remainder of the season. We've had a pretty good stretch now for about, I think, 3-4 straight weeks. We're coming off of a 7-0 college football Saturday in week 10 for college football. So we're really hitting our stride. I think the rest of the football season will be very strong for us. So check that out down there if you're interested. All right, first game is the Germany game. We're back to international games. We've had London ones this year so far, but this is the first one that's going to be in Germany. And we gave the Germans a fantastic gift because we gave them the Giants-Panthers with New York laying 6.5 now against Carolina. What an insane spread. The trend that I'm going to give you is on the total, but I just got to comment on this ridiculous spread. In no world are the Giants 6 points better than the Carolina Panthers. This one makes no sense to me. I've got them like 4 points better. So because remember, this is a neutral field, so you don't have to adjust for anything. So how this spread is this high, I don't know, but someone's got other plans in mind by steaming up the Giants. So in any event, Shawn Hochuli is the referee for this game. He's a strong unders referee, but specifically in this spot, because when you look at totals that are 45 or less, these are the totals that public bettors or more casual bettors tend to get scared off of in terms of betting the under, because they think, oh, it's so low, you just need a few touchdowns here and there, maybe a pick 6. And they get scared off by like 42s, 43s, when in reality, those are the games that tend to go under more often. And that number is posted low for a reason. So Shawn Hochuli's unders are generally like a 60%-ish trend in his games where he's their head referee. But if you look at the games that have totals of 45 or less, it gets you to 71%. So 34, 14, and 1 to the under when the total is below 45 in games that Shawn Hochuli is the head referee. This total is pretty low. I will say 40.5. I think it's already been steamed down, by the way. It was 41.5. It's been taken down. So there's been some money on the under, which would indicate you could be on the right side. The only thing I would say about this number moving down, this action moving down, is that you haven't really crossed any key numbers yet. Like 41 is really when you get to 42, 43, really 43 is the key number. This was never near that. And then when you get down to the 30s, you're really looking at like 37, 38 because of those 17-20 finishes that you can get. So this is not really sitting around like a super key number. I mean, you could get like a 20-20 and you go to overtime. I get that, but I would still feel okay taking this under. So 71% of the under when Hochuli's the referee, and the total is 45 or less. That's the Giants versus Panthers under 40.5. And I mean, it kind of makes sense. The Panthers really got outplayed thoroughly by the Saints last week and miraculously pulled out the win. So maybe they regress a little bit offensively, and that Giants defensive front's really good. They should dominate in the trenches. Maybe they get the running game going and it slows things down. We'll see. But the under is the referee trend for that game. All right, the second game we're going to look at is the 49ers taking on the Buccaneers. San Francisco comes out of their bye week. They got great news. McCaffrey's going to play. So you've got in this game pretty much, I think, other than Ayuk, you've got now finally for the first time this season, a fully healthy 49ers offense. So you've got Jennings practicing. McCaffrey's coming back. Debo's coming back. You still got Kittle and obviously, Purdy. So this is, San Francisco's 4-4. They've got to go on a run to keep their hopes alive in the division and in the playoffs. So looks like the time to do it. Tampa Bay, much tougher spot for them. Short rest. They played on Monday Night Football. They went into overtime on Monday Night Football, banged in the trenches with the Chiefs. The defense was on the field for a lot of plays in that game. And now a short week, still banged up on offense with a lot of injuries. Very tough spot for them. And which it's indicative by the number because they're catching 6.5 points at home. Shawn Smith is the referee in this game, and he is a road team's referee. So this is why I set this whole thing up with the Niners and the Bucs in the situations that they're in. Now, typically, Shawn Smith he's even better for road underdogs, but obviously San Francisco's a road favorite, but we could look at road teams in general. He's 54, 40, and 3 against the spread, but even a little bit deeper, in games where the 49ers are playing, they're 6-0. And 5-1 against the spread. 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the spread when Shawn Smith is the referee. And sometimes you find little trends like that where specific teams, like one of them was a few weeks ago with the Buffalo game in Seattle, and the Bills had a really great, I think they were like a perfect record when Ron Torbert was the referee for the road favorites. So sometimes you get these teams that, I don't know what it is. Maybe they just know how the referee tends to call the game and his crew tends to call the game. So they avoid certain things that they maybe say, watch out for these penalties because they like to call these. Whatever the case may be, there's definitely some factor where teams know certain refs better than others. So that could be a thing here. 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the spread with Shawn Smith for the 49ers. So that would be San Francisco minus 6.5 against the Buccaneers in that game. And the last one here, we're going to look at Carl Cheffers. Carl Cheffers is reffing the Falcons-Saints game. This is actually a game that I've sent to play out on. And it's a divisional matchup, and he is a divisional home team referee. So what we're looking at here is when he's the head ref, divisional games, and you just look at the home team, whether they're a favorite or whether they're a dog. 29-18 against the spread. That's 62%. That points you to the Saints plus 3.5 in this game against the Falcons. Now, one thing I will say, I'm on the Saints in this game. And one thing I will say is about this is I like the referee trend. I do like it, but I love the added angle of the head coach being fired and the Saints potentially getting a little boost from getting Rizzi now as their interim head coach, who, if you're following things throughout the week like I am, you're hearing a lot of good things coming out of their practices, coming out of the local reporters, and it just seems like a different vibe. And you never know. These are things that are really hard to quantify. The Falcons, to me, are not, and they've looked good offensively this year, but I don't consider them an elite team. I don't have them as a top 10 team in my power ratings, despite their record, despite looking good on offense. They don't get any pressure. They're nearly dead. They're bottom 3 in pressure rate in the NFL. That's the one way to beat Derek Carr. You have to get pressure on him. If you don't get pressure on him and he has time in the pocket, he can do some things, even with limited weapons. Still got Alvin Kamara there. So we'll see how the offensive line holds up for the Saints, but in terms of the referee trend, it's pointing you to New Orleans plus 3.5 at home. So those are the 3 games, guys. Real quick, we can recap them. The Giants, Panthers under 40.5. The Niners minus 6.5 at Tampa Bay. Saints plus 3.5 at home against the Falcons. Those would be the 3 referee trends for Week 10 that I would look at the most. Now, don't just tail these blindly. These are to be included in your handicap and your analysis for the week, and see what you can find. And if you like, maybe you came into this video and you really liked the Niners already, and then you hear this and you're like, all right, this puts it over. Now I'm sold. I can play it, right? So that's kind of what this info is meant to serve as. It's more like a tool, an additional resource. So let me know what you guys think, as always, down in the comments. And like I said, Action Network app down below to get my free plays for the weekend. I just told you I was on the Saints. I have another free play posted. It's in the Bills-Colts game. I have one posted on the Action app right now, so you can get that down in the description, and there's other stuff down there as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week. Let's get it.